There are words we speak, words we repeat, words we let slide, and words we never say. What we say, every single word, is a thread in the fabric of who we become. If you want to walk through life carrying yourself with undeniable strength, with confidence carved from self-respect, you have to be deliberate about your language. The words you say reflect the worth you place on yourself. High-value women, women who own their space, who hold themselves with quiet authority, do not give away their power in 3 simple words. These 3 words are small, but their impact is monumental. They undermine confidence, invite doubt, and chip away at the foundation of self-worth. The first of these 3 words is sorry. You hear it all the time. People say sorry, reflexively, habitually, like it's a polite filler. But here's the truth. High-value women don't apologize for existing, or for being exactly who they are. They do not say sorry just to smooth over the discomfort of others, or to preempt criticism when they haven't done anything wrong. Saying sorry excessively dilutes your power. It teaches people you are willing to diminish your own presence for their comfort. It signals insecurity. It invites them to see you as less than whole, less than worthy. That's not who you are. You are not here to fit into anyone's mold, or to apologize for standing tall, speaking up, or taking your rightful place. There is a difference between accountability and self-abasement. A high-value woman takes responsibility when it's her responsibility. She owns her mistakes and makes amends where necessary, but she does not apologize for her ambition, her voice, her desires, or her boundaries. She doesn't say sorry for asking for what she deserves. The second of these words is maybe. Maybe is the language of indecision, hesitation, and compromise. It leaves doors open, options uncertain, and intentions blurred. A high-value woman does not speak in maybes when it comes to her boundaries, her values, or her goals. She is clear, she is decisive, she chooses her path and walks it, unapologetically. Maybe is a word that invites negotiation on your worth and your time. It allows others to test your limits and question your commitment. High-value women do not live in the realm of ambiguity. They know that clarity is power. When you say maybe, you give someone permission to doubt you. You teach them that your priorities are negotiable, that your commitments are flexible, that your values are up for debate. That is not strength. That is not leadership. If you want to be high value, you must cultivate certainty. You must learn to say no without guilt, yes with conviction, and I will with intention. Your words become your armor, your shield, your declaration of who you are. The third of these words is I can't. This phrase is a killer of dreams, the assassin of potential. It's a surrender that many embrace too quickly out of fear or doubt or comfort. But a high-value woman does not let those 3 words pass her lips. She does not admit defeat before the fight begins. I can't closes doors before you even knock. It builds walls where bridges could be built. It convinces you to settle for less than what you are capable of, less than what you deserve. High-value women know that I can't is a mindset, not a fact. They see obstacles as challenges, not dead ends. They understand that growth requires discomfort and persistence. They embrace hard work and resilience as the path to their goals. If you find yourself about to say, I can't, stop and ask why. Is it fear? Is it lack of preparation? Is it someone else's limiting belief you have absorbed? Whatever it is, confront it, challenge it, and replace it with, I will figure it out, or I will try. The refusal to say I can't is not about arrogance or unrealistic expectations. It's about a commitment to yourself, to your growth, your dreams, your potential. These 3 words, sorry, maybe, and I can't, might seem small, but they carry enormous weight. They define the energy you put into the world and the energy you allow into your life. High-value women don't give away their power in words or actions. They speak with intention, with strength, with clarity. Their language is a reflection of their mindset, unshakable, focused, confident. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about awareness. It's about making conscious choices every single day about how you show up, how you speak to yourself and others, and how you protect your worth. So when you feel the urge to say sorry when you haven't done anything wrong, pause. Choose a different way to communicate your empathy or your presence without diminishing yourself. When you feel unsure and want to say maybe, think about what you really want to say. Can you commit to a yes or a no instead? Clarity will bring you respect and strength. When you want to give up and say I can't, remind yourself that you are capable of more than you believe. You have the strength to push through discomfort and fear, to learn, to grow, and to rise. Your words shape your reality. They shape your mindset. They shape the way others perceive you, and more importantly, the way you perceive yourself. High-value women guard their language because they guard their hearts, their minds, and their futures. They speak with power because they know their worth is non-negotiable. Start by noticing what you say. What are the 3 words you say too often that chip away at your power? Commit today to illuminating sorry when it's not needed, replacing maybe with clarity, and banishing I can't in favor of resilience. Because the world needs more women who stand firm, who speak boldly, who walk confidently into every room, every challenge, every opportunity. You are not here to apologize. You are not here to hesitate. You are not here to surrender before the fight. You are here to rise, to lead, and to own every inch of your value. Your words are your weapons, your shield, and your crown. Use them wisely. No more sorry, no more maybe, no more I can't. Own your voice. Own your power. Own your life. Saying sorry is something many people do without even thinking. It's almost automatic, a reflexive response to almost anything, from bumping into someone to voicing an opinion. But the truth is, the power of that word is often misunderstood and misused. When a high-value woman speaks, she understands the weight of every word she utters. She recognizes that sorry isn't just a polite habit, it's a choice, a signal, a statement about how she values herself and how she expects others to value her. Too often, women are conditioned to apologize, to soften their presence so that they don't threaten or inconvenience anyone. From a young age, society teaches women to say sorry for taking up space, for expressing needs, even for just existing. This constant apology chips away at confidence. It sends a message that being here, being vocal, being ambitious, or being firm is somehow a problem or a burden to others. But when you habitually say sorry without cause, you are, in effect, shrinking yourself. You are telling the world, and most importantly yourself, that your presence needs forgiveness. High-value women refuse to fall into that trap. They recognize that apologizing for who they are or what they want is surrendering their power. They don't say sorry for expressing their truth or for holding their boundaries. If they need to correct a mistake, they do so with accountability and grace, but never out of a sense of inferiority or fear of rejection. Apologies from a place of genuine responsibility are different. They are grounded in respect and honesty. But unnecessary apologies are an act of self-diminishment. The power in choosing not to apologize lies in how it shifts your relationship with yourself. When you stop saying sorry just to appease others, you start to honor your own voice and your own needs. You become the authority in your own life, no longer bending to the expectations or discomfort of others at your expense. That shift is transformative. It sets a tone that you are not here to negotiate your worth. Think about situations where you might say sorry reflexively. Maybe you say it when you ask for help, or when you express a strong opinion in a meeting, or when you set a boundary with someone who oversteps. These are not moments that require apology. Instead, these are moments that require confidence and clarity. When a high-value woman asks for what she needs or stands firm on her limits, she doesn't apologize for it, because she understands that her needs are valid and her boundaries are sacred. When you say sorry too much, you train others to expect weakness or submission from you. It becomes a pattern that invites them to overstep or dismiss your feelings. On the other hand, when you reserve sorry for moments that truly require it, your apologies carry weight and sincerity. People notice. They respect that you don't apologize to smooth things over unnecessarily. They learn to listen and treat you with the respect your words demand. Breaking the habit of unnecessary apologies isn't easy. It requires awareness and practice because for many, sorry is a social crutch, a way to ease tension, to avoid conflict, or to preempt rejection. But this crutch is holding you back from showing your full strength. When you catch yourself about to say sorry just to fill space or to avoid discomfort, pause. Ask yourself if you truly need to apologize, or if there's a stronger way to communicate. Instead of sorry, you can say things like thank you for your patience, or I appreciate your understanding, or even just acknowledge what happened without diminishing yourself. For example, if you are running late, rather than starting with sorry I'm late, try thank you for waiting. This subtle change shifts the energy from self-deprecation to confidence and appreciation. High-value women also recognize that apologizing for their emotions or reactions is unnecessary. Feeling anger, frustration, or disappointment is human. You do not have to apologize for having feelings or for expressing them respectfully. Instead, you own your emotions and use them as information to guide your actions. When you stop saying sorry for your feelings, you reclaim your emotional power. You stop allowing others to dismiss or minimize your experience. This kind of self-respect ripples into every area of life. Professionally, it means speaking up in meetings without the qualifier of sorry, owning your expertise and your contributions without diminishing them. Personally, it means setting boundaries without guilt and asking for what you deserve without apology. Socially, it means engaging with others authentically, not shrinking to make them comfortable. Saying sorry unnecessarily is not a small thing. It is a thread woven into how you see yourself and how you allow others to see you. It's a subtle but powerful message that you are less than, that your presence is a mistake, that your desires are a burden. High-value women reject that narrative. They use their words to build themselves up, to create respect, to establish clear lines around their worth. To stop saying unnecessary apologies, start with awareness. Listen to your speech. Notice how often sorry slips out and why. Are you trying to soften your impact? Avoid conflict? Make someone else feel better at your expense? Once you recognize these patterns, consciously practice replacing sorry with words that affirm your value and presence. It might feel uncomfortable at first because you're breaking a deeply ingrained habit. People might even react with surprise or resistance because they're used to you apologizing and accommodating. But that discomfort is growth. It's you stepping into your power, demanding respect, and rewriting the way you show up in the world. Remember, an apology should be reserved for when you have caused real harm or made a mistake. When you apologize unnecessarily, you blur the lines between true accountability and self-doubt. High-value women maintain those lines clearly. They are accountable, honest, and respectful, but never self-facing. When you embrace this mindset, something remarkable happens. You begin to value yourself more deeply. Your confidence grows. Your relationships improve because you communicate from a place of strength, not submission. You create space for others to respect you as you respect yourself. Words are not just sounds, they are the building blocks of your identity. By refusing to apologize needlessly, you are telling the world and yourself that you matter, that you deserve respect, that you are whole, worthy, and unapologetically present. This is not about arrogance or insensitivity, it's about self-honor. It's about knowing that you don't owe anyone an apology for living your truth and standing in your power. High-value women don't apologize for being exactly who they are. Maybe is one of those words that seems harmless on the surface. Soft, non-committal, polite. It gives you a way out. It lets you avoid conflict, keeps options open, and delays decisions. But what happens when maybe becomes a habit? A go-to answer for the important things in life? What happens when maybe becomes the language you use for your boundaries, your goals, your values? High-value women do not live in the land of maybe. They refuse to dilute their power by speaking in uncertainty when it comes to what matters most. Maybe is the language of hesitation and indecision, and hesitation is a luxury that high-value women cannot afford. When you live with clarity, with purpose, You move decisively. You do not hedge. You do not leave the door open for others to question your commitment or your strength. Think about how often you say maybe to avoid disappointing someone, to keep the peace, or because you aren't sure what you want. It's tempting because it buys you time, but it also costs you respect, both from yourself and from others. When you say maybe, you create ambiguity around your intentions. Ambiguity breeds doubt, and doubt undermines your authority. A high-value woman knows what she wants. She knows where she stands. She understands that saying no when something isn't right for her is just as important as saying yes when it is. She is decisive because her values are clear and her boundaries are non-negotiable. Maybe doesn't serve her because it weakens her message. When you tell someone maybe, you give them permission to question your reliability, your seriousness, and your priorities. You allow them to guess where you stand instead of being clear. This uncertainty can cause others to take advantage, push boundaries, or simply not take you seriously. High-value women don't operate in a space where their words are open to interpretation. They say what they mean, and they mean what they say. Clarity is a form of respect. It's respect for yourself and respect for others. When you communicate with certainty, you set clear expectations, people know where they stand with you, and that kind of transparency fosters trust and admiration. On the other hand, maybe leaves people guessing and creates confusion, which can breed frustration and mistrust. Learning to replace maybe with a firm yes or no is a skill of empowerment. It means you are in control of your choices, rather than allowing indecision to control you. It means you own your calendar, your commitments, and your energy. It means you do not let others dictate your availability or willingness by leaving your responses vague. High-value women don't apologize for saying no. They don't feel the need to explain or justify their decisions beyond what is respectful and necessary. They understand that no is a complete sentence. It protects their time, their energy, and their well-being. Maybe is often a way to avoid saying no, but avoiding no leads to overcommitment, resentment, and burnout. It takes courage to say no, because it sometimes means disappointing others or facing conflict. High-value women embrace that courage because they know that honoring their own needs is the foundation for sustainable success and happiness. They recognize that every yes they give is a no to something else, so they choose wisely. Saying yes with clarity is just as powerful. It means you are committed and engaged. It means you are ready to act and to deliver. A clear yes brings momentum and forward movement. It shows that you value your word and your promises. When you say yes, you do so with intention and follow through. The problem with maybe is that it puts your commitments in limbo. It delays action and creates uncertainty for everyone involved. If you want to lead your life and your relationships with strength, you must eliminate that limbo. You must decide. You must communicate decisively. This also applies to your internal dialogue. Saying maybe to yourself about your goals, your capabilities, or your future is a subtle form of self-sabotage. It creates hesitation in your own mind. High-value women don't negotiate with their potential. They commit fully to their growth, their learning, and their dreams. To break the maybe habit, start by tuning into the moments you say it. Is it because you are genuinely unsure, or is it because you want to avoid discomfort? If it's the latter, challenge yourself to get clear. Ask what you truly want. Reflect on your values and priorities, then give a clear answer. If you need time to consider, say that instead. I want to think about this and get back to you, is honest and respectful, and it keeps the door open without ambiguity. It's different from a vague maybe because it sets a timeline and shows you respect the other person's need for clarity. Clarity in your language trains your brain to think clearly. It builds confidence. It shows the world you are someone who knows her mind and stands by it. That confidence is magnetic. It attracts opportunities, respect, and the right kind of relationships. Saying maybe too often is a way of hiding behind uncertainty. But uncertainty is a choice. You can choose to embrace clarity instead. You can choose to make decisions that align with your highest values and refuse to waver because of fear or pressure. High-value women live with intention. Their language reflects that intention. When they speak, people listen because their words carry weight. Their yes means commitment, their no means protection, and their absence of maybe means strength. It's time to stop giving others permission to doubt your seriousness by using maybe. It's time to give yourself the gift of decisiveness, which will ripple into every part of your life, your career, your relationships, your self-respect. I can't is one of the most dangerous phrases a woman can say to herself. It's a surrender disguised as truth, a quiet acceptance of limits before the battle even begins. High-value women recognize that I can't is rarely about reality. It's almost always about mindset, fear, or doubt. It's a phrase that closes doors and shuts down possibilities. It denies the vast potential that lies within. The problem with I can't is that it sets a boundary where none truly exists. It convinces you to settle for less than what you are capable of, to abandon dreams before they have a chance to grow. It tells you to shrink when you were meant to expand, to give up when you were meant to fight harder. High-value women refuse to say I can't because they understand that it is a choice, not a fact. They know that obstacles are inevitable, but giving up is optional. They choose to see challenges as opportunities to learn, to grow, and to prove their strength. They replace I can't with I will find a way, or I will try. The power in rejecting I can't lies in resilience. Resilience is not about never failing or never facing difficulty. It's about rising every time you fall. It's about refusing to let fear dictate your actions. When you say I can't, you are letting fear win. You are allowing doubt to limit your vision. High-value women do not give fear that kind of power. They confront it head-on, knowing that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act despite it. They push through discomfort because they understand that growth requires effort, patience, and persistence. It's important to recognize where I can't creeps in. Sometimes it's because the task feels overwhelming or unfamiliar. Sometimes it's because past failures have planted seeds of doubt. Sometimes it's because others have told you that you're not enough. Whatever the reason, I can't is a voice that needs to be challenged and silenced. When you catch yourself thinking, I can't, pause and ask why. What is the real barrier? Is it a lack of skill? If so, can you learn it? Is it fear of failure? Can you reframe failure as feedback? Is it exhaustion? Can you rest and return with renewed energy? High-value women seek solutions instead of giving in to excuses. Replacing I can't with how can I changes the entire game. It opens your mind to possibilities, to creativity, to resourcefulness. It transforms a dead end into a starting point. High-value women embody this mindset. They see problems as puzzles to solve, not walls to stop them. The refusal to say, I can't, also builds confidence. Every time you push past a moment when you wanted to give up, you strengthen your belief in yourself. You prove to yourself that you are capable, strong, and worthy. Confidence is a muscle. It grows with use, and it begins with rejecting defeatist language. This mindset extends beyond personal challenges to relationships, careers, and dreams. When faced with difficult conversations, a high-value woman does not say, I can't speak up, or I can't set boundaries. She knows her voice matters and uses it even when it's uncomfortable. When confronted with career obstacles, she refuses to say, I can't advance or I can't compete. Instead, she finds ways to learn, grow, and excel. Saying, I can't, too often, is a form of self-sabotage. It's a habit that convinces you that your potential is limited by circumstances rather than expanded by effort. High-value women are aware of this trap and actively work to break free from it. It takes courage to change this mindset, because it means facing discomfort, uncertainty, and sometimes failure. But courage is a defining trait of high-value women. They do not wait for conditions to be perfect. They start where they are, with what they have, and keep moving forward. Surrounding yourself with support is also key. High-value women seek mentors, allies, and communities that encourage, I can, over I can't. They understand that resilience is strengthened in connection and that positive influence fuels perseverance. It's also vital to practice self-compassion. Refusing to say, I can't, doesn't mean beating yourself up for struggle or setbacks. It means being patient with yourself while holding firm to your commitment to try. It means knowing that progress isn't linear and that every effort counts. Replacing "I can't" with empowering alternatives shifts your entire outlook. Instead of seeing limits, you see possibilities. Instead of accepting defeat, you welcome challenge. Instead of shrinking, you expand. High-value women embrace this mindset because it aligns with their belief in their own worth and their capacity to shape their lives. They know that limitations are often illusions, barriers created by fear, doubt, or past experiences that no longer serve them. So when you feel the urge to say, "I can't," stop and choose differently. Affirm your strength, commit to trying, trust in your ability to figure it out. Your potential is vast, and your power lies in your refusal to give up.